Daniel Snyder for years has been told to change the nickname of his team. He said no, no, no. Thank you, but no. Dear sir, thank you for your inquiry as to whether or not we'll be changing the name of the Washington Redskins. After much thought and contemplation, we have decided that we are going to honor the tradition of this great ball club. Love and kisses, Dan. So what's changed? Wait for it on Nothing Personal, because you know what's changed. What happens when your top sponsors call you on the phone and say, Dan, we have a small issue here. We want you to change the name. And Dan says, thanks for the call. Love you, miss you. Talk to you later. Click. He then picks up the phone and he dials his lawyer and says, quick question for you. Do we have a situation here where we could lose our naming rights deal or our sponsors? Anybody? Do we? Okay, call me back. Hey, my PR guy, how bad is it out there? Are people really, is it serious this time that we have to change the name? Well, I'm going to do a statement. I'm going to absolutely say we're going to look at it. Okay. Anybody else call for me today? Oh, God. Fred? Fred, is that you? Fred, it's Dan. How are you? Hey, how are things at FedEx? Well, good, Dan. Thank you. I founded it. I'm the chairman and CEO. I know exactly how things are at FedEx. Are you doing all right, Dan? How's the name change thing coming? Well, Fred, I'm really not really going to take a look at it. Well, Dan, I'm telling you right now, you got to change it. Because if not, I want to sell my shares in the team. I don't want to be associated with you anymore. Fred, what are you talking about? Fred, we're great friends. Best friends? I wouldn't say we're best friends, Dan. We're friends. We're fine. You've been great. My investment's been great, but I can't be associated with you anymore. Hold on, Fred. I'll call you right back. Hey, it's Dan. Can you check the other two limited partners? Where do they stand? They do? They want to sell to... One second. Fred, it's Dan again. All three of you want to sell 40% of the Redskins? What if I change the name? Do you still want to sell? Wait, can I buy the 40% from you at the valuation you bought it at with like an 8% return? No? Fred, what do you want? Well, Dan, the team's worth billions now. I want my percentage of this several $billion this is worth. But Fred, who are you going to find to buy that? You know how limiting it is to be a limited partner of mine. You have no say in anything. And you make your company give money to the team, which I appreciate. Yeah, you get a ring, but we never win them. You get good seats if you buy them. Yeah, you get to meet the hogs once in a while, but that's it. All right. No. What? Double click. It's a double click-a-thon for the Redskins right now. FedEx, Nike, Pepsi, limited partners, they are attacking Dan Snyder on all sides over this name change. What makes different today and why Dan Snyder will acquiesce and there will be a name change? Because he has no financial choice. Years past, it didn't impact one thing he did. Now he realizes that it is real dollars in his pocket and real risk of his asset losing valuation. And with revenue down and so uncertain, corporate revenue, naming rights revenue. Why does FedEx want to keep paying naming rights revenue for a stadium that may sit empty for an entire season? Are they going to want money back? Are they going to allow the payments to go to the Redskins that Dan Snyder uses to increase his bottom line? Dan Snyder, like many other owners, does not like answering to people. But in this case, he had no choice. Isn't that wonderful? I think it is scrumptious that Dan Snyder is being pressured into following through on something that he should have done a decade ago, and he's going to make believe that he has found God. He will make an announcement, wait to see, and he will have a long statement that will be massaged by PR people until the oil has run out of the bottle. There's going to be lotion, little massage. The statement will say, after much contemplation, this is the opportunity for me to show that our organization is tolerant, that we appreciate and understand the plight of the many, and we will no longer be in the camp of the few. The new name will be the Washington. It's going to happen. You know what's not going to happen, by the way? Fred Smith selling his share. It's not happening.